Assalamualaikum. So today we're going to continue with the statement of cash flow. Alright, there are three core activities in the statement of cash flow. Okay, which is number one, cash is raised from the capital suppliers. Okay, meaning to say here cash flow from financing. Okay, CFF. And then cash is used to buy assets. Okay, cash flow from investing, which is CFI. Alright, and then the cash is used to create a profit. So which is, this one is a cash flow from operations or CFO. Alright, so the cash flow statement classification. So ada three types just now kan. Ada CFF, from financing, from investing, and from operation. So these are the example. Alright, so number one, cash flow from financing. Okay, so contohnya kat sini kita sell equity. When we issue common stock, we sell the equity and then the shareholders ataupun the investor buy the equity. So dia akan jadi inflow for the company. So sell equity ni menyebabkan kita dapat cash tu. So the cash is come from the financing. Financing through selling an equity to the public. Alright. And then number two, if the company issue debt. Okay, issue debt ni macam fixed income security ataupun bond. Okay, so sama juga dia bentuk financing ataupun bentuk the financing where the company can issue bond, okay, to raise capital. Alright, so when the investor buy the bonds, okay, so kita dapat inflow. Alright, so the cash inflow is known as the cash from financing. Okay, CFF. Okay, through issuing debt ataupun issuing bond just now kan. And then the CFF ni will be reduced when we pay dividend. So bila kita ada equity, so of course lah nanti kita akan bayar dividends to the shareholders, right? So that's why I put it in the bracket ni, just nak tunjuk ni adalah cash outflow lah ni, duit keluar. So yang macam ni duit masuk inflow kan. Alright, okay. Next is cash from investing. Okay, so cash from investing macam I highlight dekat atas ni tadi. Okay, is used to buy assets. Okay, bila kita beli assets. Okay, so contohnya buy assets lah. Okay, buy machineries ataupun plant. Okay, for the company. So outflow. So that's why in the bracket kat sini. Okay, and then next is the CFO, cash from operating. Okay, so kebanyakan kat sini ni. Yang ini buy inventory. When we buy inventory or our stock, so of course lah duit tu outflow. So we pay cost, pay taxes, pay interest. Okay, so dia melibatkan outflow ataupun duit keluar. Right, so itu hanya nak tunjuk contoh je lah untuk you all. Okay, next, cash flow from financing. Ini sama aja dengan atas, menerangkan balik je yang kat atas tu. Okay, so includes cash received from inflow for the issuance of debt and equity, macam cerita tadi. So if the company issue stock or issue debt, so bila people ataupun the public buy the debt or the equity, so kita dapat duit kat situ for our financing. So as expected, CFF is reduced. Okay, dia akan tolak lah when we paid dividends to the shareholders, so outflow kat situ. And the next, cash flow from investing is usually negative. Dia memang macam tu, is usually negative because bila kita dah dapat duit tadi kan, okay, to finance our company. Okay, so the biggest portion is the expenditure, which is the outflow for the purchase of long-term assets such as plants or machinery. So that's why dia negative. And the next, cash flow from operation naturally includes cash collected for sales. Okay, ini revenue, our revenue. And then cash spent to generate sales minus the COGS apa semua tadi kan. And then this includes operating expenses such as salaries, rent, taxes, okay, and other expenses yang kita have to pay. Alright. Okay, but notice two additional items that reduce the CFO. Cash paid for inventory and interest paid on debt. Okay, so the CFF, okay, cash from financing plus cash from investing plus cash from operation. Okay, so it is equal to the net cash flow. So kita akan tambahlah semua the net from CFF, net from CFI, and then net from CFO untuk kita dapatkan our net cash flow. Okay. Alright, next, the accrual accounting. Okay, yang ni the concept lah, kita nak cakap about the concept. Accrual accounting requires company to record revenues and expenses when transactions occur. Okay, not when the cash is exchanged. And then at the same time, the income statement often includes non-cash revenue or expenses, which statement of cash flow does not include. So ada item-item dalam financial position. Okay, contohnya macam accrued revenue, prepaid expenses, dalam balance sheet dia ada. Tapi kalau dalam cash flow tak ada. Kita memang akan record yang melibatkan cash semata-mata dalam cash flow. Alright? And then because it shows how much actual cash a company has generated, the statement of cash flow is critical to understanding the company fundamentals. So kita nak tengoklah sebenarnya how many cash that the company has. So it shows how the company is able to pay for its operations and future growth. So kita nak tengok dia punya cash condition, whether the company is able or not to pay the short-term obligations atau for the future growth, ada cash ke tak. Okay. Okay, so next, so this is the example of the cash flow statement for the company XYZ. Okay. Alright, so nampaklah kat situ dia record cash flow from operation, okay, and then cash flow from investing, and then cash flow from financing. So the total ataupun the net cash flow ni, bila kita tambah semua all the net kat sini ni, kan, yang mana ada tolak tu kena tolak dululah. So kita akan tambah yang net saja, baru kita dapat the net cash flow for the year. We have to understand, okay, that the financial statement has a link to explain or to elaborate the significant numbers, okay, in the financial statement. Okay, so contohnya ada footnotes to the account. Alright, so the notes to the financial statement. So the financial statement is the notes to the financial statement, sometimes called footnotes. So nota kaki kan. Tie up or any loose ends and complete the overall picture of financial statement. Okay, so contohnya in the footnote tu, the company mention lah, okay, about the method of depreciation applied by the company, ataupun about their inventory method, whether they are using FIFO, LIFO. Okay, so that kind of information will be explained in their footnotes. Okay, so maksudnya kat sini the footnote list important information that could not be included in the actual ledger. So dia tak tulis lah dekat ledger tu dalam account tu kan. They only put the figure in the financial statement position ataupun dalam cash flow ataupun dalam profit and loss. Tapi maksudnya to know further ataupun to elaborate further the figure in the financial statement tu, so we can read the footnotes. Alright. Okay, so here two types of footnotes. So accounting method. So sometimes the company mention about the accounting method, like what is the inventory method, the depreciation method, okay, like I mentioned just now. And then regarding the disclosure, so ini kalau you can recall lagi, the disclosure of the off balance sheet financing, ini off balance sheet transaction ataupun financing yang dia tak disclose dalam financial statement, tapi dia disclose dalam disclosure. Okay, and then you boleh baca the footnotes tu, okay, to know further information about the balance sheet transaction ataupun finance. Alright, next is the auditor's report. Okay, so the auditor's job is to express an opinion on whether the financial statements give true and fair of the state of affairs of the firm. So this is the purpose behind the auditor's report, which is sometimes called as the report of the independent accountant. So this one is just to give an idea who's going to certify that the financial statements are prepared according to the generally accepted accounting principle. So to elaborate the job of the auditor. So by law, every company that is registered with the Company Commission must have its financial statement being audited by an audit firm. Alright, so the auditor will certify lah, okay, the transactions in the company, okay, the verified and certified, okay, and then come up with the report so that people ataupun the prospective investor ataupun sesiapa sajalah yang ada interest with the company can read the auditor's report. So an auditor's report is meant to scrutinize the company and identify anything that might undermine the integrity of the financial statement. So itulah pentingnya the financial statement must be audited. Alright, and then the last but not least is a statement of the shareholders' equity. Alright, so the statement of shareholders' equity report the changes in the value of shareholders' equity or ownership interest in the company from beginning of accounting period to the end of it. So it gives investor more transparency about the changes in equity accounts and report the business activities that contribute to the movement in the value of the shareholders' equity. So dekat bawah ni adalah the example of the statement of the shareholders' equity. So they stated lah the common stock, okay, par value, paid in capital assets, retained earning. Alright, so start from the January 1st sampailah the balance on the 31st December. So ini contoh je lah. So I think that's all for this topic. Okay, thank you.